odds of you existing, like being alive, are the same as 2 million people rolling a trillion-sided dice and all landing on the same number. That's the odds of each and every one of us being alive, okay? So, yeah, it's pretty spectacular. So we got nothing to complain about. We all won the lottery already, okay? So it's just going to get better from here on out. Alrighty, so what I'm going to be sharing with you here is a 3-step method to starting a profitable online lead gen business, giving business owners exactly what they want. They just want more customers using an unknown traffic source few know about. Well, I've shared what it is already, but maybe some of you haven't quite figured out what it is. I'm going to share that with you. We're going to do this all without hype or any kind of technical overwhelm. All right, and what I'm going to share with you, I've learned by selling literally in 2017 over $8 million worth of leads. Okay, and then I sold another 900,000 leads this April. Now, I have a lot of employees, business partners, we have expenses. There's no way I'm taking all that money home myself, but I do get a chunk of it on that. So on that, and there's our May gross sales. Again, I'm not bragging here. I'm just showing you what's possible with what I'm going to share with you, and also adding a little bit of credibility. I mean, this is how we make a lot of our income on here. So, okay. So, and what I'm about to teach you also produces results for others too. On here, it says I have 3 clients already. I'm going to take it easy, making only about 20K per month. On here, I love what Mike had to say. He said, I'm blind. It's his first day in the course. I'm blind, no excuses. This works. On here, I also posted on my Facebook group too, someone who just watched this exact same training and literally within a week had turned things around. And anyways, first day collected 2,000 on here. You can see on here, James collected a couple of almost $3,000 checks on here. Jesse's picked up clients. He closed a 15,000K deal. And the reason this is so appealing is because to offline business is because you're not selling like SEO and having to explain the investment and the time you have to wait for it. And, you know, it can go up and down and all that kind of stuff. It's literally, I'm going to deliver you phone calls, and I'm going to do it in 24 hours, and I'll only do it during business hours. How about we just start with 10 of them? They'll be like, what? They never even heard of that before, okay? And then when you do it, they're going to think you're some kind of magician, okay? And this is Jamie. And this is just one of his clients on here. The guy's got like over 70 clients now. So anyways, this is what we're going to do. There are actually some people on the call that have never heard my story before, so I'm going to do a super quick intro on that. Then I'm going to go over the traffic source, and then we're going to go over where you send that traffic source to. It's actually a super ugly page on that. I'm going to show you the exact page we use for one of our niches, and you can take a photo of it, or after the webinar towards the end, I'll give you all the slides, and I added in the additional slides all the steps you'd need to take, which the steps we're going to do live, but I took screenshots of it so you could do it step by step later, okay? And then I'm going to show you 2 ways that you could basically make money with this traffic source. One's with local businesses and another is with affiliate offers, okay? And we'll move into questions and answers. It'll be pretty short presentation, okay? Alrighty, so anyways, for those of you who don't know, my name is Chris Winters, founder of Kall Zu. Really, my whole story is all about change. I used to live in this old beast here. This is a 1982 Mercedes diesel, and these things are really cool because they're very hardy. The way they were built was actually you build it and keep it in the family the whole time, so really hardy German-made cars. But you can adjust the carburetors, make some simple adjustment, and they can run off of actual vegetable oil. So I used to pick up vegetable oil at some local restaurants, but normally they'd have to pay somebody to haul away, and I'd offer to pick it up for free. And so it is a win-win, and I would use it for basically petrol to drive around. And one night I was sitting about 2 o'clock in the morning, sitting outside of a Starbucks, parked very close to the front door, but in the parking lot. And the reason I was doing that is so I could get their free Wi-Fi that kind of comes through the glass there. And on that I came across a contest by Bill Phillips. Bill Phillips is famous for the Body for Life and ESA supplement products, and he had a new contest out, and his first prize was like $50,000. I needed the money, and I was super overweight at the time, so I thought, well, that's a win-win. So long story short, I ended up winning the contest, and that's really when everything changed, and got back up on my feet again, started speaking all around the country, and even shared the stage many, many times with Paula Abdul. She has an incredible transformation story. And yeah, and got on. Then I applied what I learned through my physical transformation, because I overcome a lot of addictions and stuff like that too, and applied that towards business. And I was hanging around some pretty amazing people. I'm like, man, if they can make all this money, why can't I start something? And I did, and then I got on a bunch of TV shows and stuff. Anyways, and then probably the biggest highlight of all that was a gentleman by the name of Dan Kennedy, the Dan Kennedy. I had no idea who he was. Invited possible. And a lot of times just like owning and starting your own business sounds a lot more glamorous than it actually is. So not everyone's cut out to do it. So confession here, yes, I have a huge advantage probably over everybody listening to this right now. I worked my buns off for years. I was mentored and trained by the likes of, some pretty amazing people like Dan Kennedy. And I've spent the last 8 years just building my lead gen agency, and many, many long hours. So I promise to you, if you're watching this right now, honor your time by teaching you something of value and not making this some old big pitch fest, okay? So look, let's just break this down as simple as possible, so it really is this 3-step principle, and that's what we're going to go over. The first one, I'm going to show you exactly this traffic source on here. It's been around for a long time. And then where do we send this traffic source? On here, I'll share how that's going to have some kind of landing page or site. I'll show you that. Super, super ugly. And then once you got the traffic source and the one-page website, then you can send it to 2 different places. And I'll show you those, and you collect your cash. That's it. So the top secret traffic source on here, it happens to be one of the #1 traffic sources in the world. Actually surpassing, I should say, currently right now, even Facebook. It costs about 90% less than Google AdWords pay-per-click. It's also it's almost too easy to set up. We're actually going to set one up together, a campaign, okay? And really hardly anyone's using this traffic source for the past, it's 5 years old, and it's just growing larger, okay? So it's kind of crazy, but okay, so a little bit of education here. These 3 ads here, what kind of ads are these? Well, these are AdWords pay-per-click, of course, right? We all recognize those. And on your phone or even a tablet, what kind of advertising is this? At the very top, you see the little phone icon, little call. Well, those are AdWords call-only ads. Okay, and they're very, very special. Okay, so got a question for you. When people search, in particular local businesses on here, which do they use more, do you think? Do they think they use a desktop or a laptop computer on your left-hand side of the screen, or the right side, which is going to be, their Samsung or iPhone, their smartphone? Yeah, it's going to be their smartphone, right? I mean, that's what everyone's doing. People are literally, especially when they're doing anything local, but even beyond that, everyone's just, their whole life is in that darn phone, right? And the graph I've got here, you can see literally desktops and stuff, the usage is going down, particularly locally, and it's just skyrocketing with any kind of phones. So the next question I have for you is that for the exact same keywords, say you were to buy traffic and either use advertise as a pay-per-click on the left-hand side of the screen, that would be showing, like on a desktop or a Mac, or on the right-hand side, you were to do a call-only ad, which is that little phone and that little tap to call there on that cell phone picture. And that same keyword, pest control, or any juicy, high-ranking, high-buying keyword, DOI attorney or whatever, water damage, whatever it is, on that, which one on here is going to cost more? Well, First thing we got to understand here is that local businesses, particularly local businesses like service type businesses like plumbers, lawyers, handyman, stuff like this, they don't need clicks on their site because their businesses aren't automated that way. I mean, we can pretty much like, you can automate like a Uber. You don't have to call an Uber. You can just do it online, right? But a lawyer, a handyman, a dentist, stuff like this, accountants, that's not automated. You have to call. There has to be a call take place before business can even begin to start on here. So they need calls on here. That's what they're looking for. So local businesses, they need prospects to call them in order for them to do business. It seems obvious, but you need to make sure that you understand that point on here, because that's part of the problem with pay-per-click. A pay-per-click Google, that's really where online paid advertising, that's where it got started, right? That's how Google became so incredibly wealthy on that. Because look, when someone sees their ads up there, like the pay-per-click ads you see up there, it usually takes, 4, 5, 6 people on average to actually click on that ad before somebody actually decides they're going to pick up the phone and call. So if it's $20 a click, yeah, you can guess somewhere between 4 and 6 people, let's just say 5 people, will click on it before one of them will actually call. So that's $100 a call. And that's the problem. It's a very expensive phone call. The problem, of course, is solved using the exact same keywords, only using call-only ones. And when they tap on it, it doesn't click, it calls. It calls and it gets forwarded directly to the business owner. And it's usually around $2 a call. So, it's crazy, right? So the exact same keyword on here, which one's going to cost more? Well, the desktop, of course, and it's a lot more. And that's where the smartphones and the call-only ads come into play. They're really like these unsung heroes. And again, they're not new. They've been around, and the more people that use their smartphones to search for things online, the more use they get. And there's more people searching on their phone than they are on their laptops or PCs, okay? So how many of you here would like me to log into my Google AdWords account and actually teach you how to set up one of these calls, okay? I'll type a 1 in the chat box here, and it'll give me a chance to take a quick drink here. Well, we got a ton of people on the call. This is awesome. Just thought I'd peek in there and check. Alrighty, super. So, I see plenty of ones, and heck yeahs, and all kinds of foul language going out there. Okay, so let's go ahead and do that. Alrighty, so here I am, the back end of a AdWords account. Very standard. This is the initial place where you would start to set up a campaign. But what a lot of people just completely miss is right here. It just seems so obvious, right? Call only ads, okay? Call only ads. So I'm just going to take you right through this. The little stuff I'm going to show you on here is exactly what you do. We've taken a long time to figure this stuff out. So it might look easy now, but if you're like by yourself and you've never done it before, you can make these mistakes. We do not want to do the Google Search Network. Reason is they're just not quite up to par yet. Someday they will be, and that will help increase traffic for sure. These will only run on devices that you can make a call on. You want to do your local area. The example here we're going to do, which is the one I always do. We'll do Phoenix, my old stomping grounds when I was in the States. Local options. Okay. So, yep, we're good there. And then here for the automated to maximize clicks on here, we'll do manual, and I'll type in $3 because that's going to be pretty much more than any call will cost. And I'll just put in 50 a day, just kind of let Google know I'm at least halfway serious. You want to make sure this is usually default. You want it on standard. I always just make sure. And for those of you who are completely new to paid traffic, particularly with local, it's just, I was a big SEO guy for years, and then I added paid traffic on here, and it's like night and day. So don't be fearful of it. It's really, it's like a race car. you can just turn on a dime and you get A to Z really quickly. Whereas like SEO is kind of like driving around a gigantic tanker, seven-tanker ship. You know, it's really hard to take corners. You probably need like a 5-mile radius to turn around and take a right turn. But so anyway, so here Monday through Friday, what's cool about that? I can just deliver it. I can just say, hey, they open up, let's say at 7 a.m. and you know, whatever, they close at 6 p.m. Okay, I can run those ads then. Here, this is important. You want to rotate. It says not recommended, but you actually want to do that, at least until you get these optimized, okay? So that's it. So far, we'll go on the next page. We're pretty much almost done with setting it up on here. Okay. Scroll. Okay, so just put in the business name on here, and I think if I was smart, I would have already got this out, so you don't have to watch me type it in. I get it? Yep, there we go. Okay, so yeah, you don't need to watch my slow typing ability. Put in a fake local number. This is just a mock-up ad. Description on line 1. And here we're just kind of letting them know what we would like them to do. Give them a benefit with a call to action. And yeah, we get a second line in there. And oh, what else we got? Yep. Okay, so we'll just Pest Control Pros. This is the display URL. This is what's going to show up on the phone right there. And then this is the actual one that they verify. On that, yeah, so that's just about it. So normally, it's a lot of ways. I mean, there's a whole, I could spend the next couple, 3 or 4 hours explaining our keywords. I'm going to keep it simple for right now. Let's just take a look at this one, like pest control. Okay, and then I'm going to go ahead and estimate kind of what it would cost. I'm going to hide it down there because I want to show you something. I'm coming on this other tab I have in the same area in Phoenix, Arizona. I'm also going to type in pest control, which is, you know, obviously a pretty decent word for pest control if you're in there. There's obviously a lot of others on that, but and some more specific ones. But yeah, so pest control per click in the Phoenix area is going to be about 18 bucks, 18 bucks and 66 cents, right? And remember that when you do this type of ad, the pay-per-click ad, you're going to need about 4 to 5 to 6 people to actually click on that ad before one decides to call. Let's just call it 5, okay? 5 people click on it. For every 5 people that do, on average, 1 will actually call. So your cost per call is, you know, somewhere between maybe 70 and 100 bucks. It's very expensive. But that's what the going rate is. That's what's going on. And you may be wondering now, how can they afford it if you don't know much about this niche? With pest control, what they do is it's almost always annual contracts, and they actually sell the contracts, and that's how they make their money. Anyways, so pest control over here, what does it cost on that? Well, look at that. So in just the Phoenix area, not including all the other areas in there that a pest control would go to, like Tempe, Mesa, Scottsdale, Chandler, Gilbert, on that. It's between $1.57 and $1.91 for a direct call, not a click, nothing like that. Okay, so I want that to sink in for a second. The most it would cost, and that would be let's just say $2, but it says $1.91 here versus $18.66. And now, for those of you who know AdWords pay-per-click, you can bring this cost down by spending a lot of time split testing and a lot of time in knowing about having a good quality landing page. That can bring this score down. But still, the fact of the matter is you're going to be spending at least 70 bucks per call. Okay, whereas here it's just, let's just skip all that nonsense and go right to a call. It almost seems absurd. It's like, well, why wouldn't everybody do this? And what's the catch? There is no catch. Okay. So let that sink in for a second, and let's take a look at some other keywords so you don't just think it's like pest control. I've rigged it with some kind of a niche in there. So let's do, plumber's another one. So let's just say, if I just type in plumber here, it's a broad keyword. It's like a plumber Phoenix, Arizona, plumbers in Arizona, those kind of things on that. So let's estimate what that cost will be. I'm going to cover it up. So I want to come back here, and then for the same area in Phoenix, let's just put plumber in and see what that would cost per click. That's going to get kind of expensive. I'm going to warn you, 73 bucks. That is absolutely nuts. Really, think about that. I mean, that's going to take, again, at least 4 people are going to click on that ad and someone's going to get charged 73 bucks per click before someone calls. That's an expensive call. Why not just go right back here? Look at that. $2.32 would be the most I pay for that. It's pretty darn good. And I'm only going to get it during business hours. So cool stuff, right? We can do some other stuff on here. A more targeted one would be emergency plumber. Okay. That's a more targeted one. So that should cost more than just plumber. And it does. It's like 112 bucks. Can you imagine? I don't even know how people afford this. Crazy. 112 bucks. Now, emergency plumber probably won't take 4 or 5 or 6 clicks before I get a call. Maybe take 2 or 3 clicks before you get a call because it's more urgent, right? So just being fair. I mean, but still, it's going to be at least 200 bucks for a freaking call. You got to charge a lot of money just to make up for the ad, right? I mean, that better be a big emergency. Okay. So let's check it out here. Right. And we'll just wait for that drum roll. What do you think it's going to be? It should be more expensive, right? It should be like 3 or 4 bucks or something, right? I mean, because it's more targeted keyword, right? It's like here. But in the call only world, it don't work like that. It is $1.65. Okay, crazy stuff. All right, let's do one more. And this one more is kind of one of my favorite ones on that, just because it's so nuts. Anything to do with attorney stuff is just like DUI, lawyers. Because this is going to be like well over 100 bucks, right? You guys all know that. Probably DUI lawyer. So let's get to refresh this thing. Oh, come on. What happened to my internet? Let me refresh this. Loading. Okay, let me do it in here. DUI lawyer estimate. Don't want to hide that. Okay, let's try it in here. Search for keyword. DUI lawyer. This will be the last one we'll do. I don't want to drag this on. Same Phoenix area. We'll get some ideas. And this is going to be, yeah. Look at that. DUI. That's actually kind of cheap for DUI attorneys, actually. 121 bucks. Kind of like emergency plumber. Okay. So 121 bucks. So, you're going to get a few phone calls. You're going to pay probably 200, 300, 400 bucks per prospect calling you. Doesn't mean that they're going to be qualified. Doesn't mean you're going to get them as a client. So it's expensive stuff. Why not just go directly to a call? What do you think this one's going to be? Let's see, a couple bucks, $5, 14 bucks. No, $2.19. Okay, so there it is. Yeah. So if you're kind of looking at it going like you just came on the call or whatever, I'll give you a slide step by step on how to build this up at the end of here. So pretty cool, right? Pretty cool. All right, so let's continue on here. So let's just kind of recap here. Look at the pay on the left-hand side. I got the pay per call ads on here. These are about what they cost on here. They change a little bit every day, but basically it's around $2 for these juicy keywords. On pay-per-click, it's a little bit more actually. The emergency plumber is quite a bit more on here, and that's the difference, man. It's huge. So call only ads. They deliver basically exactly what clients want. They want phone calls. It's simple to explain. Look, pay-per-click ads are a challenge to explain to clients, especially because they don't understand them. They don't understand the quality score. They don't understand the landing page, how a good conversion rate on the site will bring the cost down. What they really don't like to hear about is that, hey, you're gonna need to, spend maybe $1 or $2 or $3 or $4,000 until we get this thing fine-tuned and you start making a profit. They don't like that. That's hard to explain. SEO is hard to explain. They just figure you throw backlinks in it, and why can't you get it to rank on #1? Can't you do something? It takes months. It's harder and harder to do now than ever before. And clients just, they've all been burned. But this is easy to explain. It's like, look, you know how to set up a campaign. I'm going to deliver calls to you. Okay, let's say I'm talking with a prospect on Monday. Hey, how about tomorrow on Tuesday, I deliver you 5 or 10 calls during your business hours. How's that sound? As simple as that. People in your area interested in your services. It's like, what? Are you crazy? Okay, so here we are. We're like 1/3 of the way done already. And things are going to go really fast because part 2 here is short, because it's just this one little ugly page site on here. So one page ugly website that you send the traffic to. You're actually not sending the traffic to it, but you actually need it. It's part of the requirement. So let's get into that, and then we'll go into step 3, which is the 2 methods that you can make income by doing these things right here. So who wants to see this ugly landing page in here? I want to see. We got some people to check. Wow, we've got more people in the call. It's awesome. All righty, cool. So lots of people want to see it. Okay, cool, good. Let's do it then. All right. So before I reveal it on here, I want to kind of explain something here. Why call-only landing pages can be so ugly, because we're about to get to it on here. Look, call-only ads, which we've been talking about this whole time so far. Prospects never see it. Okay, only Google bots see it, and an occasional Google AdWords employee may view it, but actual customers don't see it, because these are call-only ads. They're not click, go to someone's website or landing page, and then decide to call. That's not what it is. It skips that whole middle step. So you don't have to be you don't have to have any kind of design. You can have the most ugliest site in the world, what you're about to see. You just follow the bare minimum, which I'll go over with you, what's required, and it's that simple. Okay, but I want to make sure that you understand that. And one of the big hassles with pay-per-click ads is that you really have to become an expert. It's like to do them well, you need like you want to have like heat mapping, sensors, and you can see like how long people stay on the site, where they stay, where do you lose them. You also be constantly analyzing this stuff. With call-only ads, you don't have to do that, okay, because no one sees your site. So here it is. Bam, this is one for an actual niche that we're in, the pest control, and it's really ugly. It's literally a one-page site. The only requirements, I'll just go over some of the requirements here, is 2 images, and you can see the 1 image on top. There's a certain size, but I can't remember what it is. Just it has to be it has to be larger than. And then the second image is just of some bugs there. It's more of a graphic, right? Phone number twice. I think you need like about 160 words or something like that down here, and then you just need your main keyword that you're trying to for whatever. If this is pest control, here we're going after bees nests. That's a sub niche within pest control, and basically that's why we have that keyword there. It's literally that simple.